What is up, everybody? It's almost 2 o'clock. We're going live. Today we are going to discuss how to battle the heat and humidity. So let's give it a couple seconds here. Let's see who pops in on the vid, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Not a sponsor, but a public service announcement. I'm addicted to these. The bubbly or buble, whatever. Cherry's killer. Alright, so let's get cracking. Should be right about 2 o'clock. Facebook Live, welcome to the Performance Guild. We've got how to battle heat and humidity in the training. So the reason I'm bringing this up is it's hot, it's humid out there. This is Ohio, it's July. We can see temperatures in the 90s, we can see humidity 70, 80, 90%. So it just gets really, really thick and heavy. And what I've already started hearing with some of the clients I'm coaching is they feel like their performance is taking a step back. And it can even be confusing, especially with kind of, in this day and age, I hate using the term, but the uncertainty that you start going, what's going on? Is it because I'm at home? Is it because I'm stressed? No. That may be playing a factor, absolutely, but let's discuss and tackle the heat and humidity, because heat and humidity has massive, massive negative effects to your performance. So one of the biggest examples I can give you is this. There is a specific reason why marathons are almost exclusively hosted in early spring and late fall. It's because the temperatures are cool. And we know statistically, and this goes for everything, this is weight training when you're dealing with temperatures, this is running, this is cycling, hiking, whatever it may be, anytime you're doing anything of physical activity and you're going to be in some version of outdoors. Premium temperature for performance is going to be 44 to 59 degrees. So really kind of floating around that 50 degree spot, okay? Once we hit 60 degrees, for every, and I'll put this in run simulation here, once we hit 60 degrees, for every degree Fahrenheit we get hotter, you're going to lose approximately, for the average runner, 2 seconds per mile split. So if you did that, Saturday run at 50 degrees in the fall for a race and it was 8-minute miles, and now we're talking, so that's 50 degrees, now it's 90, that's 40 degrees times 2 seconds, that's a minute 20 slower you're going to be running simply based on temperature and humidity. That's massive, right? So, don't worry, you are not getting slower or losing fitness. What your body is doing is it's reacting to the heat and humidity. So here is the why. The body is prioritizing thermal regulation. Basically, your body is trying to stay alive. It's trying to cool the core temperature down. So, a good portion of your blood is water. The body says, I'm overheating. It starts peeling the blood away from the muscles. So now priority is not running those splits or biking those splits or deadlifting or swinging that kettlebell. The body's like, we need to prioritize where the blood goes. So we're going to send the blood to the skin. The blood's carrying water. The water comes out of the skin as sweat. The sweat evaporates and we start cooling ourselves down. I'll go so far as to say, have you ever worked out or gone out on a run or bike, whatever it may be, in really, really hot weather and gotten a stomach ache? It's because the body has pulled all the blood out of your stomach to try to take it to your skin, that then there's no blood in your stomach to digest food or to digest anything, and that's when your gut can shut down. So this is really serious stuff on what can happen, right? So, it's also going to take at least 2 weeks to begin to acclimate to the heat and humidity. And the more you train in it, the more consistent you train in it, the quicker you're going to acclimate. Everybody's a little bit different, but the learning curve, the acclimation process is actually quite long. And for us right now, we're at the beginning of the summer, so this may all be really new and you may just really be seeing these huge hits on your performance and how you feel in your recovery, etc. Prime temp, I already talked about this, but we'll do a quick review. 44 to 59 degrees. We are, especially in Ohio right now, we are very far away from seeing those prime numbers, right? 1 degree over 60, 2 seconds, just to put this in perspective. This is, it's going to add 2 seconds on per mile split, slowing you down. Same thing's going to happen. I don't have the exact number, but you're going to see your FTP cyclists. Your functional threshold power is going to go down. Strength and conditioning out there at Hoover Reservoir or whatever, getting after it, doing these workouts, and you're like, man, I'm used to swinging a 40-pound kettlebell. 15 pounds feels so heavy. Correct, because a lot of blood is going to cool you down. It's not going to help you move that weight. It has prioritized. So, how do we beat this? Buble break. Somebody needs to help me get a sponsorship from these guys. First one, let's tackle the mindset. Right out of the gates, you have to adjust your expectations. So that way you're not shocked when you go out on that run on Saturday, your heart rate's pegged at 155 or 160, and you're running a 950 mile, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. It was 3 months ago, I was running an 845 with a 145 heart rate. Mindset. You need to understand this is happening for a reason. So now we know our expectations of what our pace is going to be and what our performance is going to be in the summer is going to be lower, right? Not one secret recipe. So here's kind of the bad news of today's seminar. Everyone's different. What works for me doesn't work for you, and vice versa. So it's going to take some time and some experimentation, which means we must deploy patience as you learn your personal recipe for what's going to get you, render you success and offset the heat and humidity as much as possible for your training. Remember, we still got to go to number one. We've adjusted our expectations. Patience does not get us back to our old times. We're battling science here. Science states this is a significant detractor to performance. It's not a you thing. This is science. We're really beating it up. Next up, because of the science, we need to take this very seriously. So we're talking, okay, my time, my performance, the weight I'm moving is not as good. You can get heat stroke. You can flush your body out of all the required electrolytes and find yourself in the ER. You can pass out. You can faint. Blood pressure, all sorts of things. Combating and going into hot and humid workout environments takes some strategy and planning, and it's critical for your actual health and safety. So we need to take this just a step farther up. Man, I'm running slower. Man, I can't climb those hills as fast. You know what? Prioritize health and safety, and everything else is going to fall in the line. Next up. So let's get to the good stuff. Hydration. First off, when I'm talking hydration, I'm talking not just water. If you're already sweating and you're just pumping yourself with water, all you're going to do is wind up flushing out the rest of the electrolytes. So your hydration has to have some version of electrolytes in it. Not just H2O. Key. There's tons of different stuff out there. There's Gatorade, there's Noon, there's Infinite, there's a gazillion. Some have calories, some don't have calories, which is going to get me to a point here in a second. But how much? Here's a good starting point. 20 to 24 ounces of hydration for every 60 minutes of working out. That's your starting point. Also, when it comes to electrolytes, and we've got 4 of them, but the big one here we talk about is the sodium. It's one of the things you're going to want to look at on the ingredient list of your electrolyte. A good place to start is getting 500 milligrams of sodium inside those 20 to 24 ounces of hydration. Now, then you're going to adjust and tweak. Remember, there's not one secret recipe. Let me give you an example of how drastically this can change. For me, let's take this last weekend. 91, 93 degrees. Don't know what the humidity was, but it was hot and muggy and sticky. I will go through 40 to 48 ounces of hydration per hour and still wind up dehydrated. I need easily over 1,500 milligrams of sodium. So I have a really heavy sweat rate. I also have a really heavy sodium loss rate inside that sweat rate. That'll be videos at a later date on how to test for that. But just know you're going to start to experiment 20 to 24 ounces. of an electrolyte mix, make sure that you're getting in 500 milligrams minimum of sodium. When I'm talking hydration, I'm also talking in this type of weather, you need to be thinking about hydration all day long. Simply rolling outside with a bottle of whatever sports drink isn't going to be enough. So staying hydrated throughout the day. And this is where those little fizzy tablets come in really handy, because they can be next to 0 calories. They add some flavor to the water, and you can actually hydrate yourself throughout the day. Then we've got intra-workout, which we just talked about. During the workout, definitely want to be carrying something with you. And then post-workout, you're going to want to try to replenish all that as well, because in this type of stuff, like I said, in particular for me and for most people, after about that 1 hour mark, what you're really trying to do is trying to get through the workout. You're not actually probably coming home even Steven. Like if you weighed yourself before you left and then you weighed yourself when you came back, you're probably going to see that you lost some weight. Well, that's water weight. So we need to get that back in. So you really need to focus on the hydration with electrolytes when you're getting back in. Fuel, number 3. Last but certainly not least. You may need to think about increasing your calories during that workout as well. Now here's the double-edged sword. As we talk, the blood's being pulled out of your stomach. Your stomach may not want something in it. So going into the workout with a little more calories than usual may be wise if your gut tends to shut down, or experimenting with what is going to digest in your stomach well. And I'll talk about one of the things, but the reason here being is your body's working really hard to cool yourself off. It is crushing through calories, many more calories than you're used to, and this is going to be part of recovery. The more we start to deplete ourselves of hydration and calories during the workout, you still need to recover. We need to get ready for tomorrow's workout so we're not feeling sluggish, okay? So if you're feeling under-recovered lately or sluggish or tired, it might be because that thermal regulation is eating up more calories than you had anticipated, and now you need to adjust what you're bringing in during the day, as opposed to maybe like 4 or 6 weeks ago when the temperatures were significantly different. So upping your post-workout hydration, carbs, and protein. Intra-workout, one of the things I like to use is Infinite. It digests really well, so it's the actual electrolyte drink, and per bottle it has, I believe, 350 calories. So that's really turbocharging my calorie intake during that hour, and it's giving me all the electrolytes I want. And then typically I just supplement with more electrolytes, either salt stick tablets, Endurolites, or Gatorlights. But that's usually enough fuel. I'll keep a couple gels in the car because I can suck those down, and those will digest pretty well. Also, if I'm on a longer ride or run or outdoor workout where I'm like, I'm starting to, bonk a little bit. But just keep in mind, calories, but your stomach may not appreciate what type of categories, which kind of leads it to adjust and tweaking. So intra, easy to absorb, the little blocks, the gummies, the gels, that sort of thing. Post-workout, you may find as well that your stomach just doesn't want to eat after a big workout in the heat. So, that hamburger and fries or whatever may be off the board. Maybe think about something that again is going to feel good in the stomach and cool you down. So maybe swing by and get yourself a big smoothie. Hope this helps. I'm going to be checking the messages on this. So if you have questions, want me to expand on anything that I covered, feel free to drop it in the comments. Hope everybody's having a killer day. Stay safe and train smart out in this heat and humidity. Cheers. Be built.